Hello students, my name is Pragati Misra. In our last video, we were discussing about the group homomorphism and isomorphism, in which I told you the definition of group homomorphism and isomorphism with examples. Today we will discuss a very important theorem of group theory, that is Cayley's theorem, and we will learn what is the statement of this theorem, and then we will do the proof of this theorem. So what is the statement? Every group is isomorphic to a subgroup of its transformation group. That is, if we have a group, then it will be always isomorphic to a subgroup of its transformation group. Every group forms its transformation group. And what is transformation group? This is also known as permutation group or a symmetric group. I told you that a function which is 1, 1 and onto both, the collection of all such functions forms a group with respect to the function composition, and that is called a permutation group. Today we will discuss that every group is isomorphic to a subgroup of its transformation group. So we will start our proof now. So in the start of the proof, firstly we will consider let G be a group and T of G be its transformation group. That is, we are considering it. So for this group we define a mapping pi a. This a is present in the suffix, so pi a such that G to G by pi a of x is equals to xa, and this is true for all x belonging to G, called the right multiplication. This is called the right multiplication, and this is determined by the element a, because the element a is multiplied in this term at the right side. So with this multiplication is called the right multiplication, and this is determined by the element a. So firstly we define such type of mapping because this transformation is considered by us. So firstly we show that this mapping is well defined, and this is 1, 1 and onto, because we all know that a permutation group is the collection of all those functions which are 1, 1 and onto, that is they are bijective. So firstly we define that this mapping is well defined and it is 1, 1 and onto. Now, in order to show that this mapping is well defined and is 1, 1 and onto, we have to show that this is 1, 1, and if we show the 1, 1, we show that for all x, y belongs to G, if pi a, that is our mapping, pi a of x is equals to pi a of y, that is, if the images of two elements are same, then that element should be same always. So if we apply the definition of our function over here, then we get xa is equals to ya by the definition that we have defined. So by the right cancellation law, a get cancelled, so we get x is equals to y. So what we are getting from here, that for two same images of two elements, the elements are also same. So the mapping of 1, 1, so the 1, 1 condition of 1, 1 is satisfied. So we can say from here that pi a is 1, 1. Now we have to show that pi a is onto also. Now in order to show that this mapping is onto also, we choose one element from codomain. That is, say the domain and codomain was same, that is G to G. So we take one element and show that corresponding to each element in G there exists a pre-image in the G also. So if we are able to show this condition, then we can say that our mapping is onto, such that pi a, if we apply the function over this function BA inverse, then what we get by the definition, if we apply pi a over BA inverse, then we get BA inverse into A. So we can write it as BA inverse into A. Now if we use associative law, then this becomes B A inverse A. This is our identity, so we can write it as B into E, and this becomes B. So from here we can say that if we apply any element to this function, we are getting again the pre-image of this element exists in the G. So we can say that pi a is onto. So we have showed that this mapping that we have defined is 1 1 and onto both. So we can say that this function can form a transformation group. So the collection of all such functions forms a transformation group. Now we will consider a subgroup of its transformation group, and we will show that all the conditions of subgroup is satisfied in that subgroup, and then we show that that subgroup is isomorphic to any group. Okay, so firstly we consider the subgroup of it, this transformation group that we have defined. So I am going to take a subgroup. Now we are defining the set of all right multiplications, and we have to show that P is the subset of T of G, that is the transformation group, and P is the subgroup also, that is since it is the set of all right multiplications, and we have considered the set of all right multiplications as T of G, so this must be a subset of T of G. Now we have to show that this is the subgroup also, and in order to show the subgroup, either we can apply the subgroup test or we can use all the properties of group with the same composition as that of T of G. So since we are proving this theorem, so we will show all the properties of the group. So now we show the closure property. For the closure property, we consider two functions pi a and pi b from P and an element from the group G. So in order to show the closure property, we show that the product of these two functions is again a function in P. So we take pi a pi b over the element x. So if we use the property of functions, then this becomes pi b of x, that is the second function is applied over x. So if we use the definition of the our function that we have considered, so this becomes pi a into x of b by using the definition of function. Now if we apply this function over this element, then this becomes x into b into a, because this is the set of right multiplications and this was the function. And now we can write this element as x into c, where c is a new element that is equals to the product of b into a. Since we know that G is a group, so all the product of these two elements again belongs to the group. So C is also belonging to the group. Now what we get is that pi a into pi b of x is equals to the pi c of x, because if we write, then we can also write it as pi c of x. So all they are equal, and if we use our property, then this becomes pi a into pi b is equal to a new function pi c that also belongs to our set P that we have defined here. So closure property is satisfied, and now we will see that what is the associative and existence of identity and existence of inverse. So now we will do the associative property. For this we consider 3 elements from P and 3 elements from G also. So we consider the product of these 3 functions with b and c together. So if we use our equation number 1, then we have seen that in the closure property that pi a dot pi b was equals to pi c and c was equals to ba. So pi a dot pi b can be written as pi of ba. So if we use this property, then pi b dot pi c becomes pi of a into pi of cb, because this get reversed. Now if we use again this function over here, then this becomes cb comes first and then a, so this becomes pi of cb into a. If we use the associative law over these elements, because they are the elements of group G, so they will satisfy associative law. So if we apply the associative law over these 3 elements, so this becomes pi of c into ba. Now if we write it separately, then this becomes pi of ba comes first because this was the second element, and then dot pi of c. Now if we again apply the property over this element, then this can be written as pi of a into pi of b. These all are written with this property. So now this becomes pi a dot pi b into pi of c, and now you can see the closure property is satisfied in this case. Now we will see what is the existence of identity in this case. In order to show that existence of identity is also satisfied, we consider that E is the identity of G. We all know about it. Now let pi E is the identity of P. So if we take any element, since by the property of identity, if we multiply any element of the given set or group with the identity, we get the same element. So if we take pi a into p, then this becomes pi e dot pi a. And now if we use the property, then this gets reversed and this becomes pi of a into e. And if we multiply a with e, since e is the identity of g, so this becomes a only. So now this becomes pi of a. So what we are getting is it that if we multiply with this element to any element of p, then we are getting the same element. So this is the identity for the given set that we have defined. And now the third property is satisfied. So we will move toward the last and fourth property of the group. So in case of existence of inverse, we consider A inverse is the inverse of A belonging to G. We all know about it. Then pi A inverse is the inverse of pi A belonging to P, because if we see these two, if we take these two elements of P, pi A inverse into pi of A, and apply the property over these two elements, then this becomes pi A comes first into A inverse, and A dot A inverse becomes identity in group. So this becomes pi E. Again, if we reverse the order, we are again getting identity. So existence of inverse is also satisfied, and since all the four properties of a group is satisfied, so we can say that P is a subgroup of T of G. So we proved that P is a subgroup of T of G. Now since we have to show that every group is isomorphic to a subgroup of its transformation group. This was the subgroup, and now we have to show that every group is isomorphic to the subgroup of its transformation group. That is, we have to show that G is isomorphic to P. For this we define a mapping first, and we are defining f of A is equals to pi of A. This mapping is coming from the set P. Now we have proved that this is the subgroup of transformation group, so we have to show that G is isomorphic to P. And in our previous video, I told you that in order to show that G and G dash are isomorphic to each other, we have to show that the function, given function is 1, 1. It should be onto, and it should be group homomorphism as well. If these three conditions are satisfied, then we can say that G is isomorphic to P. So we will see that these three conditions are satisfied or not. So firstly, we show that F is a homomorphism. For this, we consider for all AB belonging to G, F of AB is equals to pi of A into B. If we apply this function over here, then this can be written as pi of A dot pi of B. Now, if we see, then this is f of A and this is f of B by using the definition of this function. So the condition of group homomorphism is satisfied. Now we will see that this function is 1, 1 and onto or not. If all these three conditions are satisfied, that is 1, 1 onto and group homomorphism is satisfied this function, then we can say that G is isomorphic to the subgroup of its transformation group, and hence then Cayley theorem is verified. So now we show that f is 1, 1 and onto. In order to show that 1, 1, we consider that for AB belongs to G, f of A is equals to f of B. If we are able to show that A equal to B, then we can say that f is 1, 1. So if we define the definition of function over this f of A and f of B, then this becomes pi A of x is equals to pi B of x, where this is true for all x belonging to G. This x is also coming from the G. Since we are applying the function over the element x, so this by the definition of the previous function that we have applied in the subgroup of the transformation group P, we can write it as xa is equals to xb, and if we apply the left cancellation law over this element, this becomes a is equals to b. So what we are getting, that the condition of 1, 1 is satisfied. That is, for the two elements whose images are same, the elements must be same. Now this is onto itself, because if we see our function that we have defined, we are defining the function from G to P. So P must be equal to f of G, because we are taking the function from G to P. So all the elements from here is going to P by the function f. So all the f of G should be equal to P. So this is onto clearly. So all the conditions of isomorphism is satisfied. That is, f is homomorphism, f is 1, 1, f is onto. So this group G is isomorphic to group P. So we can write, therefore f is isomorphism and G is isomorphic to P. Or in general, we can say that every group is isomorphic to the subgroup of its transformation group. Hence, the Cayley theorem is proved. I hope you understand the proof of the Cayley theorem. And for such more videos, please stay connected and subscribe my channel. Thank you.